Chaz, many thanks for joining us. I mean, last year was such a mega year for you. You took 11 wins, more than anybody else, and winning each of the last 6. But you finished 3rd in the championship. I mean, do you look back on 2016 as a successful season, even though you didn't end up winning the title?
Yeah, I suppose the majority of it was fairly successful with that amount of victories. It's had a lot of success during it, but obviously we weren't successful in the big achievement. So kind of a mixed feeling on it. Yes, in many ways it was successful, and then in many other ways we missed the target. So
I mean, the transformation was incredible. What changed during that summer break to make yourself and the Panigale so unbeatable in those final 3 rounds?
Geometry, really. The boys worked hard to give me a geometry and a setup, which a setup to match the geometry, not just geometry changes, but a whole package to improve the bike for my riding style in particular. I think for any other rider it maybe possibly wouldn't work as effectively as what it does for me, but for me it was exactly what I needed. So that just gave me confidence, and confidence breeds on confidence, and I felt completely at one with the bike. It was the Panigale that I found in 2015 was sort of back, and I was able to ride it as hard as I wanted to ride it from the first lap to the last, which is always satisfying at the end of the race when you feel like you've got 100% of the bike and yourself.
Yeah, I suppose following on from that, the big question heading into this year is, how confident are you that you can start 2017 on the same level you finished last season?
Yeah, I think the important thing about to start this year on the same level is not to give points away in these first races. That's going to be, I think this year, the last 2 years I've given away around 40 points after the first 2 races, which is obviously massive. And the priority is not to do that again. So whether that means we can continue as strong as we were at the end of last year, we'll have to wait and see. I regard these 2 tracks as very different to the ones at the end of last year. So I think we just got to get through the first 2 races. If we can win, we'll definitely go for it, and if we're strong, which I don't see any reason why we won't be, but the priority is to net some solid points, and if some wins come along the way, then that would be perfect.
Yeah, how tough do you expect the competition to be this year? I mean, are Kawasaki the main threat again? Obviously they start as favourites, but do you expect more teams and riders to be competing at the front?
Yeah, well, I think Kawasaki will be the main threat again. They are the reference to the world champions for the last couple of years. So yeah, we're definitely looking at them. I think they're looking at us because of the steps we made at the end of last year. But outside of that, I've got my teammate Marco. He's going to be strong, and then I expect that Yamaha will make some good improvements. The Aprilia package has always been something force to be reckoned with, and they've got Savadori, who's a good rider, and they've got Eugene, who's proven on that bike. So collectively there's a lot of good riders that can be at the front and win races. And then outside of that, Honda, they've come with their new bike. I think it might take them time to find their feet, and that's a good list of names just there, and there are others amongst that. Kamiya's riding really well. I think MV slowly improving, and Leon's at the top of his game. So yeah, a lot of people on a lot of different machinery. So
yeah, you mentioned Marco there. I mean, what has it been like working with Marco Melandri again, and how big a challenge do you think he'll be?
It's been so far so good. It's pretty much where we left off in 2013 when we were teammates for the first time. Myself and Marco, I think we work quite well together. We don't have very similar riding styles, and we don't have obviously we have massively different statures, but our comments of the bike have always been very similar, whether this bike or the bike we shared in 2013, and that is really important for the development aspect. Marco as well being Italian, I think in a roundabout way that it helps me to have an Italian who can keep pushing the development. It's just another voice, and somebody who's like Marco, who does persist in developing bikes and keep moving forward is really important. So no, it's all good.
All good. I mean, what's your opinion on the new Race 2 grid rules that they're bringing in for this season? I mean, given that you're stronger in races typically than Superpole, I mean, do you think these changes may actually suit you this year?
Yeah, I'm not against it at all. Of course, it's not traditional, it's different format. And it kind of goes against the grain and the purism of qualifying and racing, but in the end I understand the business is entertainment as much as it is racing, so I think that it can't fail to improve that aspect. The entertainment side of it is only going to improve from the way that they're turning around things for the second race. And yeah, from my point of view, I'm quite often coming from the second or third row at worst the last couple of years, so I do enjoy a race, and I enjoy the first laps, the opening laps of races. They're always fun, and they're definitely going to be a little bit different now. You're consistently coming from well, let's say the back row of the third row, sorry. I think if you get on the podium in the first race, obviously, yeah, you've got a lot of work to do. But then again, if you finish fourth, you've got quite a big advantage there. That's the one thing. If you start on pole for the second day, that's a fair advantage. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, because sometimes the fourth place guy, he cannot be not that far behind, so it's going to be I think tough to run somebody down if they've got good pace. If myself or say Johnny and Tom start on the third row to actually try and chase them down, could be quite tough by the time you get through traffic. So the starts are going to be very important, and yeah, elbows out first couple of laps.
Well, finally, I mean, I think we all know what your goal is for this season. I mean, will you consider 2017 a letdown if you don't win the championship this year?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, yeah, sitting here before the start of the season, anything other than winning the championship this year will be a disappointment.
Hi guys, Dre here, and if you enjoyed that interview, feel free to check out the rest of Bike Live. It's our very first episode on the Motorsport 101 network, goes live on our SoundCloud page and all the other places you can find the show from tomorrow, February 21st. It is a full 2-hour World Superbikes season preview featuring me and Lewis Sotheby, that interview with Chaz Davies you just listened to, and a full half-an-hour long interview with Greg Haynes, the voice of World Superbikes, on British Eurosport this year. Thank God they're back on Sky. In the meantime, though, I hope you guys enjoy the show, and the fact you're getting 2 episodes of a podcast now this week for the price of 1. So yeah, we really hope you guys enjoyed the show and keep supporting us. It's been a tremendous amount of hard work to get the show over and to set it up, but we're so excited to get going, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Until then, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.